Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Collective Weekly Reading. This is I Am Illuminated Tarot Reading for Soul Illumination. Now, hi everyone and welcome. I am going to be looking at pulling cards for this week. This is a general collective reading, and the purpose of this reading is to really give us something to take a look at that gives us a sense in the three areas that my channel works with specifically, which is curiosity, courage, and contemplation, which I look at as the triad of internal liberation. That we're going to be looking at something in each one of those areas that comes up between these cards. I will pull clarifiers as well, that we are really meant to focus on and kind of keep us engaged with this week so that we stay present, we stay focused, and we stay curious, and we keep courage in the back of our mind as we are choosing to maybe make the hard decisions. And we also look at contemplation, so we build in that time of meditation and reflection, which keeps the wheels of our soul engaged with the wheels of our external life experience. Now, I will also be posting a quick blog on my website. I'll be posting it here as well on this channel that will give you a couple exercises as well if you'd like to do that, some journal points, as well as just diving a little deeper into each one of the messages here. So first we're going to look at curiosity. What are we opening ourselves up to? What are we being curious about for the week ahead? Now, curiosity is one of my favorite principles, specifically because it allows us to stay open. We get so close-minded the older we get. I know from personal experience, because we start to believe that we've seen everything, we've done everything, and we start to kind of get to that place of we're only looking for certain things in our life, or we're only expecting certain things. And curiosity allows us to open up our field of vision, our perspective, to be able to include things that are meant to come in that might seem miraculous, abundant, and exciting, and yet we might have missed otherwise. So we have rest and rejuvenation. Now, this is really, I think, asking all of us very clearly to be curious about where we're not building in enough rest and rejuvenation, or to look at what rest and rejuvenation means to us this week. To each one of us, rest and rejuvenation can be very different, meaning that for some of us, just being able to take a nap in the middle of the day is a treat in and of itself. For some of us, we have to build in true meditation time. For some of us, it's being able to squeeze in that 1 or 2 hours of physical activity, going to the gym, going to a yoga class. It can even be actually deciding that, hey, I'm going to take that Friday off from work and allow myself to decompress. So it's really making that decision to say, well, what does that mean to you? What does rest and rejuvenation look like to you, and how can you build a little bit of that into every day so that we aren't getting to that place of stress and burnout where our body is kind of on overdrive. When we're not building in that little bit of time every day for rest and rejuvenation, we can get to a place where we are kind of truly just running on kind of autopilot, and that's where we lose connection to our soul, our spirit that wants to continually be expressed and kind of talk through us into the collective experience. We also lose direct connection to our intuition as well, which is our guide. So let's see here. I'm going to pull a couple clarifiers just to see, go a little deeper. Okay, that was a little much. So for some of us, we have the Empress and the Nine of Swords. Now there's a few too many cards here. I'm going to see if I can get slightly clearer response. But for some of you, there might be a little bit of stress or worry around either a creative project, your own creativity that you're working with. It could be actually, for those of you who are parents, definitely that could be something coming through here. But let's see. And I mean, for those of you who are parents, I am one myself, so I tend to identify with that more at this time in my life. Okay, so here is the Empress coming out again. Let's see if the Nine of Swords wants to come out. But there's a sense of really, when you are a parent, really having to focus yourself. Give yourself that dedicated time that, yes, it's difficult to meet everybody's needs. I mean, this can even be applied to the workplace. Sometimes we can look at, our work environment as working with our family, and there's a sense of needing to give to everybody, and yet we still need to carve out that little bit of time for ourselves, even if it's just taking that lunch break that we work through to say, today I'm taking that 30 minutes or an hour and I'm going to do something for myself. Now, Five of Cups and the Empress, I think for a lot of us, there may be kind of like a reevaluation of maybe where we had, there maybe where there was a disappointment in the past, where we had tried to express our creativity, we had tried to bring something into being, and it didn't work out. We were disappointed in some way. And this might be saying, in order to kind of, I think, really allow us to tap into the best part of what the Empress card represents, which is being able to give birth to what we want to create in this world, our own creative potential. It doesn't literally have to be giving birth to a child. It could be giving birth to a creative project. It could be giving birth to a way of a lifestyle that you want to achieve for yourself. But there's a sense here where that will come through. We can create at our best and brightest when we are truly at our best and brightest as well in our body, mind, and spirit. So, and in order for us to do that, we do have to really be curious as to what does rest and rejuvenation look like for us, and where might we be denying ourselves that. So really be curious. Be curious, I think, what you want to bring in to, what are you looking to create this week? Where perhaps, again, with the Five of Cups, this can be where maybe you tried to create something in the past, but you got burned out. It could be like, hey, I had all of these work goals and dreams, and yet I was disappointed in achieving those because I I did not put boundaries up at work. I overworked myself. I got into a level of stress, and I worked long hours, things like that. And you're saying, okay, well, what did you learn about? And how now, being curious, what can rest and rejuvenation actually help kind of overturn or change with this previously disappointing outcome? Let's see. Now I'm going to be pulling a card here for the concept of courage. Now, courage, also a very powerful concept because it really allows us it helps us make those tough decisions, but from a heart-based place for ourselves, from a place of awareness, of saying, I know this might be the difficult choice, but I'm going to have the courage because I know in my heart that it's the right thing to do for me or for another individual. And so we choose to make that choice. Now it says, I love it, don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? This is a beautiful thing to keep in mind, especially for courage, because a lot of times it sounds funny, but we don't have the courage often to shine at our brightest. And that can be for a myriad of reasons. That can be because we are afraid of outshining other people. And maybe in the past we had a negative, we might have turned people off because, we were shining too brightly. Or maybe we just wanted to fit in and kind of go under the radar, and yet in our heart of hearts, that brought a disappointing experience. These can definitely be tied together. There can also be a sense here of maybe you dimmed your light in the past through giving of yourself too much, through overworking yourself, again, not allowing yourself to have that rest and rejuvenation, which did dim your light. So how can you, as we tie these two together, how can we have the courage this week to really focus on giving ourselves the rest and rejuvenation we need so that we can shine at our brightest, so that we can create and really kind of rev up our creative potential this week? Let's see what wants to come in for Don't Dim to Fit In. And actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and actually pull a different deck for this. I'm going to clarify this week with a different deck for each one. So what do we need to know about Don't Dim to Fit In? We have Six of Pentacles. I love that. That's a sense of balance in our physical experience. It's a feeling of reciprocity, equality. It's a feeling of what we what we give, we feel like we're getting back. So this could also be a reevaluation of looking at where maybe you've been giving too much, where you've maybe pushed the feeling of balance in your physical experience away or out of whack because you were just trying to maybe placate someone. You were trying to make a work environment. Let's say maybe you said, yeah, I'll work overtime because you felt bad and didn't want someone else to have to work overtime. And yet that was dimming your light the more that you did that and creating an imbalance in your physical experience. So now, how can you address that and make sure that that doesn't happen? So this is a great week to take a look, be courageous at looking at maybe where there might be an imbalance in your life experience. It could be at home, it could be in work, it could be work life. But we also have the Ace of Pentacles and Death. So there's a sense here where there is a new beginning coming in for many of us. Or we're looking at an opportunity for something new. But with Death, I think this is the end of a way of being for many of us. And what I mean by that is Death speaks to the energy of death, but not only death, it speaks to transformation as well. It harnesses the energy of Scorpio, which Scorpio really does speak to the Phoenix rising. It speaks to matter and energy is not destroyed, it is just transformed. And so in order for us to maybe bring balance into our life and take advantage of a new opportunity or a fresh start, we have to release a way of being that did not include rest and rejuvenation in our experience, that forced us to dim our light because we were stressed, we were overworked, we were not giving ourselves time alone, whatever it is. And it's saying allowing that to be given up so that a fresh start can be taken advantage of. And again, reciprocity, equality, and balance can be brought into your physical experience. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at what we're all being asked to keep in mind this week for contemplation. And contemplation is equally important in that it really guides us to remember that wisdom, learning and wisdom come through reflection. If we don't stop at the end of each day to kind of look back and say, okay, I'm going to contemplate, I'm going to reflect. What happened today? What could I have done differently? What did I do well? What am I looking forward to applying towards tomorrow? That if we don't have those moments to stop and contemplate, we can kind of go through life just repeating cycles, or we can go through life completely disconnected. So contemplation is a very important principle. I mean, all three of these are equally important, which is why I include all three in my day-to-day life. And I love it. Beautiful. So for contemplation, we have blessed, number 22. Now, the number 22 in numerology is a master number. It speaks to the energy of the master builder. This is someone who is very much in touch with understanding how to build what they are looking to create in this world, but from a place of direct connection to spirit or their soul. It also reduces to the number 4, which is the number of building firm foundations. And with blessed, I'm actually going to read the excerpt that comes with this before I pull a couple clarifiers, because I love the way in this oracle deck, the little excerpts are written here. So number 22 says essential meanings: something wonderful that is unearned and unexpected, grace that is an unforeseen gift from spirit. The oracle's message: there are moments in life when out of the blue it seems that everything has been orchestrated by divine intervention. You feel blessed in ways that are difficult to express. It's as if the Red Sea parts in front of you and events come together to banish your troubles easily and naturally. You know deep down you did not deserve any of it, and yet here you are. This is one of those times. Let awe and gratitude for all of your blessings guide you now. So really look this week at where there is something in your life that feels blessed, that is allowing you to have the time, the rest and rejuvenation, to allow you to really kind of restore the light in your life. Maybe there is something that has kind of come out of the blue that falls in your lap. Maybe there is something that has happened just this week that you're going to be surprised by. And again, you might not have seen it otherwise by focusing on self-care. So really keep that in mind. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pull a different deck here, and we're going to use this. Okay, let's see. Woo, card flew right out there. So we have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is releasing pain. This is really, for many of us who are watching this now, there was a time where we went through a very difficult experience. The Ten of Swords can be where we felt like we were walking in the dark for a while in our life, or we felt like we were brought to our knees through circumstances. And this is saying that there, I think, is a level of reciprocity coming through a new opportunity coming in now that is allowing something to come into our life that might feel miraculous. It might feel like it came in out of the blue. And yet for many of us, it was a long road to get to this blessing. So keep that in mind, and bear in mind, again, the lessons learned in that cycle of, what did bring you to your knees? What did rob you of your light? And how can you now really take in the blessings? Yep, and run with it. I love it. Knight of Wands. This is Sagittarian energy. It's the energy of someone who really goes out there and takes kind of life by the horns and does what feels good. This is the individual who is truly free. They're free to follow their heart. They're free to follow their passions. And they look at life as an adventure. And I think for many of us, there's a sense of getting into this energy of, we may have walked through darkness for a while, but there are blessings that are coming in to allow for a state of, and a feeling of freedom that maybe many of us have not actually had to experience in this lifetime, depending on our age and where we're at in our life experience. So keep that in mind. There's a beautiful chance here for blessings to come in this week specifically to build foundations that are going to allow for a new cycle of freedom and a new level of being able to follow your passions. Beautiful, beautiful energy. I think I'm going to get one final card here. Let's see, what deck do I want to use? I think I'm going to use my Animal Oracle. We'll use the Animal Oracle deck here just to get one final kind of overarching message for the week ahead. And then we'll wrap it up. What does the collective need to know this week as a final message? Oh, I love it. So we have another number 4 coming in again with, speaking to building new foundations. It says, Badger spirit, be fearless and bold. And yeah, it really speaks to don't dim your light, don't dim to fit in. It's time to be fearless and bold in what you want to bring into this experience of what feels like true blessing to yourself and what really brings a level of feeling of, again, balance in your life where you feel like you have enough rest and rejuvenation balanced with a feeling of going forward towards what your heart really yearns for. Be fearless and bold in these new foundations you're building. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead. I will be posting, as I usually do, 1 or 2 individual sign readings a day. So if you'd like to see what your soul would most like you to know at this time, you can follow me on this channel to be able to see when I post those videos. All right, otherwise, I will see you all next week for your next weekly collective reading. Bye, everyone.